2025 Audi A5 review. Audi has rejigged its BMW 3 Series rivaling range under one model name, A5, cloaking a high-tech cabin beneath evolutionary looks. Is it the luxury sedan sweet spot likes? Attractive exterior styling doesn't. Rock the boat, compliant ride, confidence-inspiring handling, new interior technology is a big step up dislikes. Interior doesn't feel as expensive as it used to. Fiddly touch-sensitive controls not as easy to use as older 4's dials. No lane centering assist is a surprising omission to Audi A5 Audi A5. The Audi A4 is dead that Audi has put the name of what was once its top seller out to pasture and merged its run-of-the-mill offerings in the mid-size car category. It's BMW 3 Series and Mercedes-Benz C-Class competitors under one badge. A5 that just a variants make up the non-high-performance A5 range, the A5 Sedan, which confusingly is a liftback akin to the old A5 Sportback and the A5 Avant. A wagon to replace the outgoing A4 Avant. That means the A5 Coupe and Convertible have been given the chop, alongside the regular A for Sedan and high-riding A for all-road. This strategy was concocted when Audi wanted its electric cars to wear even-numbered badges, and its petrol and diesel ones to carry odd numbers, but it has since reneged on that strategy, which means the petrol A5 will soon be sold alongside a new generation petrol A6 and an electric A6 e-tron. Confused? I don't blame you. Customers only just came to terms with Audi's last naming change, swapping to 0.0 TFSI and 3.0 TDI on bootlids with the likes of 45 TFSI and 50 TDI, another set of similarly see. On fusing badges it has thrown in the bin with its new cars, but what you need to know is this new A5 brings the gracefully aging A4 and A5 into the modern era with all new styling. An overhauled and tech-packed cabin, updated engines, and on some models clever. Hybrid tech says Audi's first new 3 Series rival in a decade been worth the wait. How much is an Audi A5? There is initially just one variant in the Audi A5 range in Australia, the Audi A5 TFSI 150 kilowatts S-Line sedan, which is what it says on the box. A 150 kilowatts to 0.0-liter turbo petrol sedan with the S-Line package and no quattro all-wheel drive. Instead, sticking with front-wheel drive, due in the fourth quarter of 2025 October to December are to more engine options, a 200 kilowatts to 0.0-liter turbo petrol with all-wheel drive, and a 270 kilowatts petrol electric plug-in hybrid with all-wheel drive, whereas the base petrol is sedan only. The higher power versions will be available as Avant wagons for an extra $3,000. Both body styles are also available as S5 performance versions prices. Start from $79,900 plus on-road costs for the 150 kilowatt sedan, rising to $89,900 plus on roads for the 200 kilowatts petrol or 270 kilowatts plug-in hybrid sedans, both offered at the same RRP. The S5 range starts from $99,900 for the Edition 1 and $114,900 for the regular version. For reference, this review will focus on the entry-level sedan, as it's the only A5 in showrooms so far that it's one of the more affordable cars in the class. Run-out stock of the Volvo S60 starts from $69,990 plus on roads, but a Lexus ES300 Sports Luxury starts from $80,170, an Alfa Romeo Giulia Tribuna with Italiano from $80,000 for $150. A Genesis G70 Turbo V6 from $87,114. A Mercedes-Benz C-Class from $87,800. And a BMW 330i from $92,900. Standard features include 19-inch alloy wheels, the S-Line exterior pack, matrix LED headlights, a power tailgate, 11.9-inch instrument display, 14.5-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, leather look and real leather combination upholstery, power-adjustable heated front seats, 3-zone climate control, color ambient lighting, and a 360-degree camera. Option packs are available on the 150 kilowatt sedan, the $3,900 style package, with 20-inch wheels, black exterior styling, and privacy glass, and the $4,900 premium package with a head-up display, high-output USB ports, a Bang & Olufsen 3D surround sound system, and pro ambient lighting with a warning strip running along the base of the dashboard. Standalone options, such as another screen ahead of the front passenger, are also available. The vehicle we tested was fitted with about $9,000 in options. For a circa $100,000 drive-away price, at how big is an Audi A5? If the new A5's exterior design is an evolution of its predecessor, the interior is a revolution. For better and worse, Audi's midsize car has been brought into the 2020s in terms of technology. With a giant 14.5-inch touchscreen and 11.9-inch instrument display integrated into a floating curved panel, which can be paired with another touchscreen for the front passenger that looks far more high-tech than the old A4 and A5. But it has come at the cost of some of the outgoing car's elegance and top-tier fit and finish. Many key controls, including the air conditioning, have moved from dials to the central touchscreen, making them harder to use while driving. And the controls on the steering wheel are now touch-sensitive, so they are prone to accidental activations, especially the volume slider. The mirror controls on the doors are not touch-sensitive, but they sit under a black panel that makes them look like they are and attracts fingerprints. Drivers can no longer feel for the control they're looking for while looking at the road. Gloss black panels are also used extensively on the center console. Again, a fingerprint magnet. And while perceived build quality is good and there were no rattles in the car we drove, it lacks the classy look and bank vault on wheels feel of earlier Audi interiors. That Audi has hit the spot in terms of ergonomics and comfort. There's lots of adjustment in the steering column and front seats, the latter blending comfort and support on long journeys well. Tall drivers don't feel cramped either. There's a reasonable amount of storage, a center console box, bottle holders in the doors, two roomy cup holders, and a broad wireless phone charging bay, though there's not quite as much room for small items as Audi's latest EVs. Amenities are also well catered for, with heated seats, tri-zone climate control, keyless entry, and ambient lighting that can be upgraded to include a strip stretching across the dashboard that displays the indicators and safety warnings. The new A5 is bigger than the car it replaces, minus 65 millimeters longer for 1,835 millimeters. 77 millimeters longer in wheelbase to 1,900 millimeters, and 43 millimeters taller, 1,461 millimeters, which should translate to more room. There is enough space in the back for my 186 centimeters, 6 feet 1 inch tall frame to fit behind my driving position. But only just. In the sedan, the only A5 available so far, I found my hair to touch the headlining. Only a couple of centimeters of knee room and compromised toe room. The door openings are large enough not to be cumbersome, but climbing into the middle seat is a challenge thanks to a broad tunnel on the floor, tight outboard footwells, a low roof line, and a flat seat base. The width of the cabin cements the center position as strictly for kids. Rear passengers are given access to dual map pockets, USB-C ports, air vents with a panel to control the rear temperature and fan speed, a fold-down armrest with cup holders and plastic-lined door pockets. Asterisk boot space is quoted at 445 liters in the sedan, which translates to a deep cargo area that's easy to access with a high tailgate opening height, and only a small load lip to lift heavy items over. It's not cavernous, though nets on the floor and left side, bag hooks, and a 40 to 20/40 split folding rear seat aid practicality. Says the Audi A5 have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Standard in every A5 is a 14.5-inch touchscreen and 11.9-inch instrument display integrated into a curved panel that stretches across much of the dashboard. The former runs Audi's latest software, with snappy responses to even light touch inputs. There's no need to push firmly to activate functions, and contemporary graphics that fill out the screen well. Key functions, such as often used climate controls, and a customizable bank of 8 shortcuts for different apps, are pinned to the edges of the screen, but need something beyond those. And it's a case of multiple taps into sub-menus that may take some more less tech-savvy buyers. Time to learn the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are offered, and the former worked seamlessly on this media preview drive. However, in a Q6 e-tron we recently tested with the same software, we had CarPlay disconnect randomly on one drive, and unable to reconnect until the car was parked overnight and restarted. The next morning, no matter how many times we disconnected and reconnected our phone, we'll be able to test the A5's integration more thoroughly when we get the car through for a week-long review soon. Digital radio is available, along with embedded satellite navigation, which uses Google data. The instrument cluster is contemporary and clear in its graphics, and its menus are reasonably easy to switch between after a little while behind the wheel. Though the touch buttons make it fiddlier than it ought to be to navigate, buyers can option a 10.9-inch touchscreen ahead of the front passenger, which allows for video streaming, audio controls, and the presentation of key driving data. It's a cool feature in the showroom. And the display's design prevents the driver from seeing it while the vehicle is moving. But it strikes us as a gimmick rather than a practical feature. Also optional is a head-up display and an excellent 16-speaker Bang and Olufsen 3D premium sound system, both of which were fitted to the vehicle we drove. Audi offers customers 3 years of free access to its Connect Plus suite of features, such as vehicle tracking, remote locking, and the ability to preload routes into the navigation system from a smartphone. That is the Audi A5A. Safe car? The Audi A5 range is covered by a 5-star safety rating from a NCAP, based on testing conducted by its European counterpart Euro NCAP last year when the car went on sale. It earned category scores of 87% for adult occupant protection, 87% for child occupant protection, 78% for vulnerable road user protection, and 79% for safety assist technology. It initially applies only to the 150 kilowatts A5 sedan. An S5 sedan and wagon. What safety technology does the Audi A5 have? A broad suite of safety features is fitted to the entry-level Audi A5, with nothing left on the table as exclusive to higher-grade models. But there is one key omission from all variants: lane centering assist. The A5 can apply steering assistance to prevent itself leaving the lane unintentionally, known as lane keep assist, and can maintain a safe distance to the car in front on the motorway adaptive cruise control. But it cannot actively steer to follow the path of the road and hold the center of the lane. This technology is fitted to its rivals, plus cars as cheap as $30,000 Kia hatchbacks, so it's disappointing to see it missing from the A5. As well as other new Audis in Australia with the brand's latest generation electronic suite, such as the Q6 e-tron. Closing parenthesis. Audi executives say features such as these will roll out progressively, and lane centering may be added in a future model year update, alongside a smarter adaptive cruise control system, but timing for its addition has not been confirmed. The other safety systems on offer in the A5 at launch work well generally. Speaking, lane keep assist is a bit too intrusive on tight country roads for our tastes, but it's easy as pie to disable. Just press and hold the button at the end of the indicator stalk. The A5 has a driver attention monitoring system, but it operates by monitoring touchscreen inputs and how the steering wheel is moving, rather than through a camera pointed at the driver, so it does not beep when you glance away from the road for more than a moment, as many new cars with attention cameras do. The traffic sign recognition system works well and alerts the driver that they may be speeding through a visual cue only rather than a beep, while adaptive cruise control is ours. Well-tuned data, it must be said that. Should you not like these systems, the likes of the driver monitor and traffic sign recognition are not as easy to turn off as lane keep assist and require a few taps into touchscreen menus. Is the Audi A5 fuel efficient? Audi claims fuel consumption of 6.9 liters per 100 kilometers for the new 150 kilowatts A5 sedan, across a quoted 9.4L, 100 kilometers in urban driving, and 5.4L, 100 kilometers in extra-urban and highway conditions. Over a country drive loop, which comprised a mix of higher speed conditions. From winding roads to a brief highway cruise, the A5's trip computer displayed 7.7L, 100 kilometers, which is higher than the claim. but not too bad given we weren't trying to hyper-mile it. Stop-start engine tech is on hand to save fuel when stopped at the traffic lights, but a lack of hybrid tech hurts consumption hit Audi's claimed motorway fuel use claim, and the 56-liter fuel tank could theoretically get you 1,037 kilometers in optimal conditions, even if it doesn't. 95 or 98 octane premium petrol is required. As with most European cars sold in Australia, what is the Audi A5 like to drive? There's nothing groundbreaking about how the sole Audi A5 variant in showrooms is powered. The 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder petrol offers more than enough performance for this type of vehicle. There isn't too much turbo lag, so it's perky at suburban speeds. It accelerates with confidence up to highway speeds. Buyers craving more performance can look to more expensive versions. Up to the V6-powered S5, but we can't see. Many customers accusing the base model of feeling underpowered for day-to-day duties. It is matched with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, which shifts quickly and smoothly on the move. Though there is some hesitation at low speeds, and from a standstill, as is common for these types of gearboxes. There is no fuel-saving hybrid assistance, or even a mild hybrid system to let the engine switch off and the car coast at cruising speeds, so the engine and gearbox interact in a generally intuitive manner. Audi has achieved a good balance between comfort and control in the tuning of the suspension, which is passive, meaning drivers cannot adjust its firmness, as in the S5, on the smaller 19-inch wheels fitted as standard. There is a taut edge to the ride that is expected of a European car. But it is never harsh enough to see occupants wince as they approach potholes, and the body remains settled and sure-footed over crests and undulations. A longer test of the A5 on city streets will be necessary to better understand what it's like in the daily grind. But our first impressions are positive, as expected of. An Audi, the A5 inspires confidence on a winding road with a handling balance that is safe and secure. Rather than fun like a BMW or Alfa Romeo might be, the steering is direct and precise. With a choice of weighting, from nicely light and comfort mode to heavy enough for fast driving and dynamic, while either brake pedal is firm, easy to modulate, and slightly more natural in its feel than the heavier, mild hybrid S5. The base A5 is only front-wheel drive, but it puts its power down well. There is some will slip and torque steer, where the steering wheel tugs at your hands under hard acceleration, but driven sensibly, it isn't crying out for all-wheel drive, even on a wet road. Quality Bridgestone tires assist in that area without inviting too much road noise into the cabin. Though there is some present that can be drowned out with the stereo, visibility is good for a car of this size and shape. Though it's naturally not as easy to see out of as a bigger car or SUV, should I buy an Audi A5? The new Audi A5 is a well-rounded luxury car that proves there's space for evolution over revolution. It is not the cheapest, roomiest, most high-tech, most frugal or sharpest to drive car in its category, but it delivers a pleasant blend of comfort, technology, performance, and value that serves as something of a sweet spot among its peers. Its biggest weaknesses are arguably the finer points of its interior, which has upsized its screens to keep pace in the 2020s at the cost of some of the quality, elegance, and ease of use that defined earlier Autos once you get your head around the technology. However, the A5 is a refined and polished offering that ticks the boxes a luxury car should, and therefore deserves a place high on buyers' consideration lists.